right, guys, I'm excited to be here today. It's been almost a year and a half, 18 months, because at that time, 18 months ago, this home got hit with an EF4 tornado, as well as my house. This is my neighbors, and luckily they sought me out to help them put their house back together. But I saw an opportunity to make the home they had way better, because they bought the home with this big, beautiful property, and sometimes you get the land, but not the home you want. Now, I'm gonna take you guys through and show you we built their dream home because they had the opportunity, because they got hit with not only a tornado, they got hit with hailstorms, record rains, and just about 5 weeks before we moved in, a 140.9 mile an hour storm. So this is the new exterior. I'm gonna take you through the before, the after, and show you all the upgrades that 2025 now has the offer for these people, from fancy toilets to sound rooms, just the function of the house. We got a beautiful kitchen. Yeah, and reach out to me and let me know what you would have done differently. So we changed the garages, we changed the front entry, we changed windows, we moved things around, and I think it's a much better house, but I'd love to hear from you guys. So let's go inside and take a tour. They're moving in today. All right, we made it. We are in the entryway. When the original house where we're standing was their dining room. Their entryway was a long tunnel. Now, what I call a proper entryway for the size of this home. This house is close to 7,000 square feet, 7,500. It's huge. So when you come in, I changed it around. We put double doors. And when you walk in, the homeowner, she came up with this idea, a feature wall. Check out this table. This is like a normal kitchen table, but it's going to sit right here on top of this rug under the chandelier. Because the room's so big, it now gives a sense of arrival. You have a presence of, she's gonna have to spend some money on some flowers or buy the fake ones. So that would be pretty dramatic as you look through the house with the handrails. As you look all the way through, this railing, to show how talented the homeowner is, his name's Brad as well, built those rails, and then Tom the trimmer added the wood detail on it. So they saved quite a bit of money, but the better part is, now they can say they participated in their new home, and it's looking great. Let's continue on with the tour. All right, the last house, like I said, or the previous house before the tornado, the staircase was always right here, but what we added is what I call these curbs. See this right here? They didn't have that before, so the steps ran all the way across, and then the carpet or the wood hung out. This is a little bit of more of a, I don't know, not so much compact because it's nice and big, but it gives a chance. Now we can put lights on here. But when we did the wood, this is all custom made, and we spent quite a bit of time, because when you put carpet on the steps like this, these are independent. That's independent of this. But typically you do the whole wood all the way across, and then this becomes what they call a carpet runner. So I'll pull this back. But what I want to show you is how they spent the extra time to make sure they knew the carpet thickness and the pad. So when you see this, it looks as if it goes all the way across. A lot of times this gets too proud or it's too far back and it looks funny, but I think they nailed it. It looks real nice. And we're putting this on right now because today's move-in day. A lot of traffic on the steps, and the carpet's white, so it's not forgiving. So I'm gonna put that back. This stuff's wonderful. You can leave it on up to 30 days, but then you need to take it off because they say some of the glue behind it stays in it, but I've gone farther and it still works out just fine. But that is a great investment, especially when you're moving in or you're doing any kind of work on your house. Spend the extra money. You can go on Uline or something, and that's where we got it. It comes in 3 foot, 4 foot, super long rolls. So the key is, the hard part's putting these on the steps. And that'll be another video on how to do it right. When this original house, we came in, those windows went up. It's a 2-story tall entryway. And it was a big, high, flat ceiling. The ceiling here is just a little bit shorter, but we took the windows out because that is straight west, which means that sun comes in here and the house gets blown out with sun. It heats up in the summer. It's not good. What we want to do is have the big views and have that sun reduced at the afternoon. So get an hour or 2 of sunlight versus like 6 hours of sunlight. To do that, we kept the big windows, but then we created a little bit of an overhang on the outside. What that does, it does 2 things. It adds to the exterior look, kind of adds some interest, because usually the back of a house is big and blocky and not too exciting. So that adds to the look. But we vaulted the ceiling, and what would have been over here, the old days, was a balcony. And I'm never a fan of those because when you're down here talking like this and that TV's on, all the noise goes right upstairs, and that's where the bedrooms are. So you almost have to be as quiet as a church mouse in the mornings. If someone's in the kitchen and you want to watch TV, or even late at night, that noise goes up there, so we really can't use this room. You have to find another hiding spot or a corner to go watch TV because you're making too much noise. So let me know what you guys think of that. But we were able to capture the volume and give a different look. What we're able to do now is add wood beams on the ceiling, and then we repeated it all the way through the kitchen. So we changed it up with a modern farmhouse, I suppose would be the look here. They have also this flooring, and the old house was carpet. And we took the carpet out and we put LVT all the way through. So what that does is you let your furniture define the space, the room itself, ceilings, but the carpet is not necessary because it looks kind of funny, but also your house will look more luxurious, and your smaller homes that you build will make the homes feel bigger if you have the same flooring all the way through. Preferably a hardwood floor, LVT, something like that. What you do for carpet in here to warm it up is you buy a big area rug. Some people do is the extra carpet that they have in their house, you can take it somewhere, they can knit it all together, create an edge on it, and now you take that and you create an area rug out of the carpet that's in your house. So let me know if you like that idea or if you've ever done that. Another thing we had to do is when the tornado hit, it blew a hole in the roof above us, and the insurance company likes to take their sweet time, said don't do nothing until we come out. Well, they waited I think it was a couple of months. And then we got record rains. That wasn't good for a home. Water kept getting in. That was full of water, and we had to tear off the entire fireplace, lucky for them, because we did a much better job the second time. We picked out the stone that matches on the front of the house, and then they put a whole new firebox in. And then with these new fireplaces, there's a heat restriction because this generates a lot of heat. So you can't have a wood mantle. That's called combustible material. So this is concrete. It looks like wood, doesn't it? It's pretty cool. So it solves a problem because everybody wants a nice looking wood mantle. This one's a rustic looking one, ties in perfectly with the home, and that thing will never catch on fire. Another thing we did, I told the homeowners, to make your windows feel bigger, we got to take the casing off. And they didn't quite get it until I showed them a couple of homes. So we took the casing, the trim, we left it on the sills down here because we get condensation on our windows because it's hot, cold, freezing, but also it's a dust collector. So we put wood down here, and we spent the extra time, and that doesn't take any more money, but the drywall guys come in, the trim guys come in and make this nice and straight with shims. So now the windows are cased out, and your eye, when you're looking outside, is not picked up by the frame of the wood around the window. Your eye goes outside. It's a subconscious thing. So it looks great. People love it. So let me know what you guys think of that one. So I told the homeowners, because the dining room is right in the middle of the kitchen, but also when you come into the house, as you come in the entryway, you got this big windows there, but this allowed for a huge feature wall. This is a 11-foot wide slider. This is 5 foot wide, and the fixed panel is 6 foot wide. So it's like a vault door. This thing just lifts this baby up like so. It releases, and with the touch of a finger, watch this. It opens right up nicely. Let's go out here. I'm going to show you some cool things we've done. Because the homeowner is so handy, he is also building his deck rails. But I wanted to show you this big door. And you're probably wondering, why is the trim missing? Well, this home has been hit with 3 separate storms. A tornado, then it had another hailstorm with record rain, and then about 5-6 weeks ago, we had 140.9 mile-an-hour winds. And it tore some of the siding off. It blew out a couple of doors on the side of the house, so we can't catch a break out here. And right now it's still windy. Sorry for the mic thing. But that big window, I wanted you to see that, how nice it is. So they didn't do that everywhere. They just spent a little extra money on that one, and I think it was well spent. But I'm standing on a deck, and we got a new product out here. These are Tanzite tiles. We did a feature show on this thing showing you how we did it. So when we framed the deck out of conventional lumber, they were called TGIs because it has to be really structurally sound. Then we put a rubber membrane, a waterproofing membrane down that they provide for you. And then all these tiles basically snap in together, and there's no grout. That's all part of the tile. So when you're out on this deck, It is much better, I feel, than a composite deck where you see some people that looks at by the fake wood. So you feel like you're almost on ground level, but you're probably 20 foot up off the ground. It looks nice. It just needs to be cleaned up, but we're focusing on the inside because they had to be moved in today. And luckily we made it on time. So the outside will catch up, especially if it quits having these record rains and storms. So the old house, people like to put decks all the way across the whole back of their house. And if you have one of those, I'd like to know how much of that deck do you really use? So I told them, let's get rid of that deck that was over there. Plus, we got rid of it because a tornado helped us with it. It was falling off the house. And then we created these overhangs so that when the west sun's shining on it, the master bedroom's over there, the great room's over here. But by not having a deck, when you're in the house looking out, you don't have to look across patio furniture for these spectacular views. So now they have really kind of two decks in one. This is going to be the big outdoor area, and that is going to be the future screened in porch area, and you'll see a gas line for their barbecue. Also, that'll go right into their pantry. So they have the best of both worlds. They got the big open area, and then they have a screened in porch. But you don't have to spend all that money. Decks are expensive, guys, so just get them to the size that you want. I think a nice size deck would probably be, I think that is only maybe 12 or 13 feet out. That gives you enough room for furniture. And we went wider only because the house is so darn big, but we didn't go that way. So let me know if you like that idea and if that makes sense. You save money, but also you pick up better views. I think it's a win-win. Okay, I have one question. How big is your deck? Okay, as you know, when you move into the house, the first two things you need to get done is get your bed set up and your kitchen. So they got some of the nieces here helping out. The kitchen they're cleaning it for probably the 5th time. New construction dust, I can't tell you, it goes everywhere. We've kept cleaning this house and you clean it. We've had the ductworks cleaned, that's real important. So all that's been done, but now they're just getting all that fine dust that's somehow in the air. But we did a video on this kitchen and you wanted to know the size of it. It is approximately 18 feet wide. And about where I'm standing comes out to about 22 to 24 feet, depends on where you want it. And that allowed us to have the 2 islands in the kitchen. But remember, the kitchen is the backbone of the house. Nobody wants to be kind of boxed into a kitchen like the old days. You always had a room for the kitchen, you had a room for the dining room, and then you had a room for the living room. Well, guess what? It's one big room today. So this kitchen goes all the way through to the dining room, to the family room. So that way when you're hosting parties, which people buy homes like they're going to have a Christmas party all the time or a New Year's party, and guess what? They never have the party. But if you do, this is where people congregate, and you don't have to say, grab your plate because we're going to the formal dining room for dinner, and then that changes the mood of the party. That's just my take. Everything is right here. Everybody stays here. The people that's cook in the kitchen stay together, play together. Everyone's happy. So in here, how are you girls coming on the kitchen? What's left?
Pretty good. We need to finish up. Are you almost done? I just finished these cabinets, and now I have to do these ones.
Are you just working, just wiping them all the way down? Because I know your grandparents were here the other night wiping them down. They didn't do a good job? No, you're kind of, they're cleaning up after grandma, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not tell her that. Shh. So you girls are at the old house, right? Before? There were the kitchen, it was just kind of at L shape?
After the tornado.
Oh,
Yeah.
After. Does it look any different?
Yeah.
A lot different. What do you think? Do you like the new house or does the old house? You still miss the old house?
New. Definitely new.
Oh, good. That's the answer I was looking for. And these gals, you live in Kansas, is that right?
Yep.
So the clean, if you need your house clean, these girls are come from Kansas. They travel all over the United States to clean houses. Oh, there's the boss man. Yeah, these girls were questioning your cleaning because they're having to start over and do what you did for the last 3 days.
Yeah, dang builder.
Yeah, it's a builder left all the dust. Yeah, guilty as a bedwetter. That's me. Hey, there's the new happy homeowners. It's finally here. Are you? I was telling everybody you lived in 900 square feet. Is that about the size of it?
Yeah.
902? Is it 2 foot? Yeah.
Yeah.
And
920.
and then your kitchen is probably 900 square feet. So you can't
Yeah.
find your kids, and that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Gotta put bells on.
Yes.
Yeah, you got cousins here. I got nieces and nephews, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they're all helping.
Brothers, sisters.
And brothers? Wow, look at, holy cow, you got the whole
Got the
crew
whole
here.
crew.
Jeez.
So this isn't all of them though.
Yeah. How many siblings do you guys have?
I'm 1 of 7.
1 of 7, and they all know how to clean
Oh,
and
yeah.
move. Wow,
Yeah,
that's good.
That lady there.
Yeah. Oh, your
Slave
mom.
driver.
There it is. Yeah. Yeah. So I told the hardest part is to getting the kitchen set up, isn't it?
Yeah.
Once the kitchen's all set up,
Yep.
then it's all downhill
Just,
from
just
there.
for the record, Brad said that refrigerator was easy to install.
Did I say that? I said they're easy to open and close
Oh,
if they're installed properly.
13 hours later, with
Oh.
an engineer and a
And it
retired
about killed my
machinist.
Do you see why we want the company to say for $125, I don't know what it was, they install them?
Oh, yeah.
That was well worth it. We want a do-over on that, but look at this fridge. That thing, that is massive. You got the handle on the wrong door. It's supposed to go. So why did it take so long just to get it,
I don't know.
all these panels so it fit?
The panels were easy. It was
getting it so it didn't tip and getting it level.
getting in the holes. You had to latch them together and bring them together, put a strap around them.
Yeah, and you
suck them
can't go
together,
around
put the
behind
pins in.
and look and see how you're doing.
Yeah, I had to put blocking in the back to screw it back to the wall. Oh. And
Yeah, for the record, I never said it was easy. I said spend the money.
no,
Let the-
just slide them in there. It's
Yeah,
easy.
they just slide
I'll
in.
help you. Just slide them in there.
Yeah, I called in sick that day. All right, here is a neat feature. I think I had one of these in my house, but then we lost it. This is the remote for the hood. It's a Zephyr hood, and it's got a little thing you plug it in so you can charge it. But if you're standing, I don't know why you need this, but you can turn on the light. There you go. You can turn on, I don't know, the fan. There it goes. And another thing we do with these hoods, you can hear it, we put what we call a remote. So some of these hoods get so loud, what we do is we'll put the suction, the remote blower, clear up in the attic. So all the noise is way up in the attic, and it's doing a really good job, but it doesn't sound like it. So I don't know, I thought I'd share the remote with you. There's high. My shirt still stayed on, so it's still doing a good job. Now I turn it off. There's the one button, turns them all off. So if you wanted, you can just plug it in, and our outlets are under here. There we go. You can just plug it in under there. So I always talk about that we keep our backsplashes looking nice. And here's the dreaded pot filler. So people love them. I'm not a big fan. They are cool, but you could do this to that, or you go pot filler. I'm not even going to turn it on because there's no such thing as a drain on a stove, right? There's something that needs to be invented. This is something I think is fantastic, especially if someone's maybe in a wheelchair or it's hard to reach, because most ovens, you pull them down and then you got to reach across all that hot stuff. Look at this. Somebody is thinking. It's a door. So now you can get right up to it, pull stuff out, and if someone's in a wheelchair, they can scoot right up here, come over, get stuff in, out. So that is a great idea. I wish they would have thought about that years ago. Let me know what you think. All right, out here in the garage, this is when you're moving, you know, everything, they don't know where it goes, so you say, stick it in the garage. So far, it's looking pretty good. We got it all kind of painted. The painters still got to come back and get their stuff. But we put our baseboards in our garage. The baseboards we use is the same for your exterior trim. And so when you power wash it or hose out your garage, you now have baseboards down here that can handle the moisture and it won't blow up. So there's a neat trick for you. Also, it might be stuff left over from the job. Here is what I want to show you is the dog wash. Now, again, remember, we just got done, so the protective cover, maybe that's my job. I start pulling this stuff off, do my part. Oh, it's not all coming together. But anyway, you got a hot and cold hose bib. We put an outlet up here so you can put the giraffe power washers. We have that in my garage. I've told them about it, they love it. So you could, it's not the power washer for the dogs, it's for, you can hook a hose up to it, you can pull it across, start power washing your garage out, clean the cars. But this elevated is a shower pan that's off the ground. And we just went and bought the, it's like a fiberglass type panels. Tom the trimmer put those on so that's all protected. At Flares, we did the exterior siding on here, and that got painted. So that holds up nice as well. So two options. I'm not sure which one's better. This is something that works out really nice, and it's great for hosing off little short kids. What's crazy, the last house had 2-car garage. That is it. That's really called functional obsolescence. That does make no sense. So we put in a proper 3-car garage. We could have put a 4 or a 5. There's room for it, but he's got a big shed down there. He keeps all his stuff. So this is just room for the cars, and we made this middle door taller and bigger for his pickup, and it's deeper. but also it just adds to the exterior elevation, kind of breaks up, because garages really tend to dominate the front of a house, and we're trying to stay away from that. But we got the garages heated. We have to put electric heat in the back in the days. We could put gas. Now they feel that there's a problem with the off gases. It could be carbon monoxide. So we go all electric. It's all been insulated, and we put can lights in here. Also, we put speakers. So you do your Sonos, you get on your phone, you could be out here cleaning, doing stuff, washing dogs and kids, and have the music of your choice. So we also have an 8-foot tall door going into the garage. These are extra thick. New code, watch this. When you open up the door, let's see, I didn't do it. This door is supposed to automatically swing shut. I found a code violation. I better get that fixed before he shows up on Tuesday. Okay, these hinges are set up for the automatic close. I just got to get a special tool that you crank down, and it puts resistance on it so that it automatically goes shut. That's another safety thing in case your car's running in the garage and you leave your door open, it'll go shut. Okay guys, just an update. That last time, storm with 140-mile-an-hour winds blew this door completely off the hinges, tore it off. This is a whole brand new door, new trim. What's nice about these things is that what they call a 3-point lock. It locks here, and locks up there. So when you lift up on this thing, you can't do it when it's open because there's a little sensor. Here's what it does. There it goes. See? Here, and there, because I held this button in. Otherwise, if you leave it out and it shuts, I damage the woodwork. So we don't want to do that. So when it closes, you lift up. This baby, that's why it was locked, I think, but it was so much pressure, blew the darn thing off the doors, and came in, destroyed some of these cabinets, so we got all those done. Now we're just waiting to put some hardware on, and we're back in business. It was a little scary because water came in, went down some of the vents, got into the kitchen, so we got all that fixed, got addressed right away, so dodged a bullet, and now they're moving in. Let's go look at the lower level. Coming downstairs, we kept the same steps all the way through the whole house, because when you come to a lower level, we don't want to say basement. It's just another level to the home. But check this out. This is the sunken media room. The original home had windows over there in the sunken area and none over there. So we flipped it around, created the proper media room. We dropped it down a couple of steps. This railing matches what's upstairs. And we were able, the homeowner did a great job with the colors. This here is with the darker walls, makes it feel like you're in, a media room. You don't want any windows into this. It's set up for a projector, but for now, they just went up and bought, get that, 98-inch TV. Doesn't look that big on the wall, but that's a big TV. And those things are becoming more and more affordable, so they're going to give that a try. And remember, last time I was here, the walls, when you paint them a dark color, they show a lot of imperfections. So we painted it, brought in the drywall guy, check out how much stuff they had to do, and now it's all cleaned up. There's no dings and dents, looks great. And this is going to be a wonderful place to hang out. Again, we built the curb too, like we did on the steps, because when you have the LVT, whatever, you don't need it running around. You want this to feel like you're in a room. We do have this beautiful bow nose here. And you come around, we brought some of the same stone from outside to create the bar top. So this is going to be a nice spot to hang out when you're watching a football game. But this is the height I like. It's 42 inches tall, so you got the tall bar stools. The next size down would be countertop height, 36, and then a table is 30. What I like about the 42 for a bar top height is if you're entertaining and you're talking, somebody can be sitting here, and when I sit down, I actually probably get taller because I'm not very tall, but you're eye level, and that's important, I think. And then the couch being below, you see over it, so people, serious watchers of the game down below, the socializers up here. And now you got room for a shuffleboard table. I believe they're going to have a custom table built, not an island, but a great big table that will serve as an island because people like to stand around the kitchen islands or the bar. The past we built bars where you got this big bar coming around and the bartender's kind of behind it, and then everybody wants to be behind the bar. So the back bar makes a lot more sense. You can lay stuff out and then put a nice big table out here. Everybody can stand around it like you do in the kitchen, and everybody has a great view. So dishwasher, microwave, check out, we got all the lights right here illuminating, and we even got a moth up here on the wall. Hey, you're messing things up. It looks like a paint blob, but it's a moth. Oh, Refrigerator slides in a hole real nice. I think they got it out for cleaning. And then this will be glass for their wine cellar. So got a nice feature backdrop. You're here looking out. Got a sliding glass door underneath the deck and big views. And that deck creates more shade as well for this room. You can see the sun. Here we are in the afternoon. It's just touching this close. It doesn't even get into the room. So those are things to consider on the west. If you build a home that backs to the west, ideally don't get a house that backs to the west. If it does, you have to design the house so that you can create some shade. So the homeowner's handy, like I said. He built all the railings. He's done a lot of stuff in the house, but these are barn doors. And because this door's so big, he went ahead and built this. We drew a couple pictures on the wall back a while back, but this just goes into the storage room. And what's nice, it's a huge opening, so it would have been kind of a big, weird looking door. It doesn't swing one way or the other. It doesn't work nice. So by having this, closes things up. This is a great spot for a pool table, and it also looks nice, and it functions well. So it does everything it's supposed to. All right, these bathrooms. This house had a huge bathroom, but it was kind of dominated by a big shower, and everything was kind of turned wrong. So we kind of kept some of the same shapes. What they had was a big jacuzzi tub, I believe, over here in the corner. Now, it probably seems odd having a bathroom window, but you can get shades that start from the bottom and pull up or pull down, so we can solve that problem, but also it's about the elevation. So again, today's move-in day. We gotta get the mirrors up, but check out this beautiful tub. So this is the new thing that they do is the floating, freestanding tub versus the old built-in jacuzzi. The difficult parts on these is that you can't hook up the plumbing until the tub shows up, and it's usually in the basement. So luckily, underneath us is the unfinished area, so they got to it. So here is the recessed niche that helps break up the wall that lights up, and we repeated that on the back side of the shower. The original home had the shower right here going that way, so you had all this hallway that you couldn't use. It just didn't make sense. So we got them a bigger vanity, bigger area to walk into, and the shower is massive. It is, I don't know, my goodness sakes, it's gotta be 10 foot by 5.5 foot. So what I did, we have the multiple shower heads, this light under here, kind of his and hers, what have you. That's kind of nice, the rain head. But because they're not putting a door on this, I added that little feature. That is a heater that blows hot air. I can feel it right now. I said, you guys are gonna freeze, so what I'm gonna do, I will pay for that, and let me know what you think. So every time you get out of the shower and you stay warm, you'll be thinking of your builder. Now, some of these toilets are getting fancier and fancier. I've never had one or experienced it, but we put outlets by the toilet, and here's why. So you come in, you plug this thing in the wall, it's a clap on, clap off. Water comes down here. I don't know how this thing works, but it's got little stuff on here for all the hard to reach spots. I'll push a couple buttons. I don't know. What's this thing do? Oh, I think that's a sensor. Where's it wash your hind end at? Oh, it's doing something. There's water coming out of there. I don't want to get shot in the eye. But supposedly if you have one of these things and you experience them, it's like a microwave. You're never going to want to give it back. So there, that's the remote. Do you keep that on the wall? So, okay, show me.
So you want to get scarier, you push the plus.
This is the one. Oh, there's your bung right there. Yep. Is that what that is?
Yep.
This looks like a wave, but that's somebody's biscuits.
And, a little flush, a big flush.
Oh.
You need to put that seat up. You get that seat going up.
Look at that. And then show me the 7-Eleven washout.
Right well, you can't do that unless there's pressure on it. So you've got sensors.
Oh, I see. So let's put that. How do you make it go down? There we go. So if I push this little sensor, and then it might wash.
It's going to spray you.
Will it spray me in the face?
I don't know.
Here I see water moving.
You might get your hand out there.
Oh, yeah, here it comes. Look, all right, that's gonna tickle. It tickles on my hand. I can imagine what it does on the. Now it's rinsing. Oh, it's like what the heck? Oh,
shut her down.
Shut her down.
I don't know how.
911.
There we go.
Holy man, oh man, that works good. Okay, close the door. I'm gonna give it a real try.
Yeah, here's all your hardware.
All right. All right, well, I think we're gonna wrap things up here. I got some reading to do. This is how to use your toilet. So you don't need a newspaper, you just need a college education or maybe a master's. So I've got the remote, that's got to be mounted on the wall. And here's the washlet. Here's how to install it. It's been done. Here's a warranty. Here's what happens in case you get something in your eye, how to flush it out. Anyway, so let me know what you guys think of this stuff. I'm gonna do some more reading. Thanks for watching. I'm Brad the Builder. I'll find you guys at the next porta potty on the job site.